Last topic I have here is a bit of a toss-up, and I'm probably stepping my foot into some waters that I ain't got no business talking about. But we've been all over this topic already today, anyway. So what's another iteration? Drew from Power Book Ghost or Power Book 2 Ghost. Real name is
Lovell Adams-Gray.
Lovell Adams-Gray is happily married to a Mrs. Gray. Now, I'm sure y'all tell me in the comments if I'm off base on this or anything like that. I'm sure we have, members of the LGBTQ community within our community. So I'm asking y'all to help me clarify on this, right? Because I know as a black man that, and again, race is different from sexuality, granted. But I know that for me to be represented, right, in a film, in the medium of film or television, the very bare minimum that you can do to provide that representation is to provide a black man, put a black man in that position to portray a role that then represents me. That's how I feel. Am I wrong for thinking that people of that community want to be represented in the same way? That they would want someone who has shared their experiences in their lives, and the things that they've had to endure, to represent them in a medium like television or film?
That's an interesting question, because would the greater good of at least seeing a gay character, especially in a medium like Power, in and of itself be something worthy of having done, even if it's portrayed by somebody who's straight?
Well, here's my thing with that, right? And here's why it's important to, like we're doing right now, talk to people about how they want to be represented. Because
that's not our...
How do you know if you are doing an adequate job in fleshing out that character if you're not part of that community?
Or having conversations with those people.
Yeah, I get being an actor. I get, immersing yourselves into a role and doing research. But you can't truly represent something that you are not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't even think it's your place to do so. And that's really kind of what I'm getting at here. It's like, if you are part of an underrepresented class, is it worth the exposure to let someone who is not part of your class or your group to represent you?
Well, it's like Scarlett Johansson playing a tree. Situation.
It's not like Scarlett Johansson playing a tree, because the trees aren't going to revolt.
Literally, the trees are. What I'm saying is, it's like that situation where she was saying that she should be able to play, any person or anything.
I mean, look at Peter Dinklage and what he's going on right now with Disney, going back and forth with them about the Snow White remake. Like,
yeah.
People want to be seen as just a normal part of society. They want their individuality shown, but they don't want to be seen as a pariah. They don't want to be seen as a social outcast. Right? And so to tell a story of a normal gay person, wouldn't you just want a gay person to play that role?
This whole situation is hard to do with race specifically, because a white person can't play a black person without it being extremely offensive.
Here's the context. They used to. And that's why it's so important to have ourselves in film, because we come from a history of people trying to portray black people, but not fully representing them.
That's fair.
Right? That's kind of what we're talking about right now with Awkwafina. She's portraying a black person, but she is not representing black people. So is that okay for this dude to be portraying a gay person without truly reposing them, because he's not gay?
Well, so in both of those specific examples that you
gave, or he may be bi. I don't know. I don't even know what dude. Like, I'm posing this question because it seems off. It does seem odd and I haven't really heard a lot of noise around it. So it makes me believe that people are okay with it. But also, I didn't even know the dude was straight until I think I was watching a YouTube video about like power stars and yeah.
We are getting a lot of the same recommendations, which is nuts.
Wait, hold on, huh?
But no, those two examples that you just gave as it pertains to race were literally examples where people were being offensive about it, right? Like the minstrel shows and then Aquafina, those are offensive things. Whereas, and I guess that's why we're having the conversation anyway, is it offensive for a straight person to play a gay person?
But it was offensive. It wasn't offensive to me because of what Aquafina was saying. It was offensive to me because she uses it as like a costume. But she takes it on and takes it off. So if a gay person deemed that to be what's happening with Lovell, then they could be offended the same way. It could be offensive to them the same way because you're portraying a black man to make money, or you're portraying a gay man to make money, and then you go home to your wife.
Okay, so I guess what I'm saying is Aquafina is also acting how she feels like a black person would act.
Is Lovell not doing the same thing?
If Lovell was out here being stereotypically or flamboyantly,
I don't think that matters. I don't think how boisterous you are about it or how tropey you are about it matters. You are still portraying your idea of what gay people are. I could portray a gay person and not be offensive about it. That doesn't mean that I'm not doing my own jaded, biased opinion of what gay people are.
But how? I guess my question in this situation would be, how is Lovell playing that role stereotypically or offensively?
It's not that you have to be. You don't have to like overdo it.
Yeah.
Again, the reason why Aquafina's black scent is offensive to me is not what she says or what she does while she's doing it. It's not the words that are coming out of her mouth. I know people that talk like her because they're actually black.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fact that it's convenient for her. Mm-hmm. When she was doing presser for Shang-Chi, she did not sound like Aquafina. She sounded like Nora.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are Nora, be Nora. That's my point. With Lovell, you could pitch it the same way because it's like, okay, you may not be doing anything that's overly offensive. You're not trying to make a caricature of gay people, but you yourself are not gay.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gay.
Yeah.
How could you sit up here and tell me that you truly know what it is to be a gay man and you not gay? How can you represent the struggle or the life or the plight of a gay man if you are not gay?
That's fair. And like you said, I mean, ultimately it's up for, a gay person to decide what is ultimately offensive to them.
That's why I'm asking y'all. You know what I'm saying? You let me know because I know how I would feel.
But I guess my question is, in that is seeing yourself be, I guess, accepted in a role in power of all places, is that not like, does that not help the situation?
Now,
I guess,
just like I said about Zazie Beetz and The Harder They Fall, I do not begrudge Drew personally for taking a job.
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, he's still a black actor in Hollywood trying to make some money. Yeah. So no, I don't begrudge anyone for taking a role.
Yeah, bro don't need to be canceled or anything.
If we're talking about what is and isn't problematic in terms of casting, I think they have casting directors for that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he got a job, but I don't know. It was just interesting to see that, and I wondered how people would feel about it if it was more known. I don't know.
Or what about the situation from Big Mouth, where homegirl gave up her.
But see, okay, you're talking about a literal fictional character that's being shown on television, right? Yeah. Like, if you hadn't told me that woman was white, I would have never known.
Yeah.
Right. Drew being on screen, I see you. Yeah. I can see you. Like, well, you know what? It is the same thing. Because if I would have never seen that video, I would have never known.
Yeah.
I would have never known. I don't know, man. Just something that I was thinking about. I am not trying to, offend anybody or anything like that. But it stood out to me because we talk a lot about representation within our community, right? And wanting to be represented adequately. So it does make me see that in other communities. It does make you see, like, okay, what are they trying to do here? What story are they trying to tell? Is this fair? Is this an accurate, depiction of this person?
Your question is a very legitimate one. I guess I wondered, would being on screen in and of itself, especially on like something like Power, would that make it a wash? That's just my question.
Would it be okay? So let's say that Drew wasn't gay, in when they were writing this story initially. Like, if they wrote this story, Drew was gay, and then they just casted Lovell, and he took the role, okay. If they casted Lovell and then made Drew gay, I feel like that's problematic. I feel like there's a problem there, because now, I don't see that they did that. I don't think they did that. And the reason why is that they did not center his sexuality as like a main plot line. Yeah, he had Everett, and that was a plot thread, but it wasn't central to what was going on in Power. So I don't necessarily think that that's what they did, but that's the kind of line that we dealing with here. That's the kind of slight nuance that we dealing with here. Did you make this character gay before you casted, or were you filling quotas? Because now I'm watching Force, and you got one gay person again, or two. Excuse me. We don't even know. The girl. We don't even know what the girl is. Give us your thoughts. What do you think? Is there something here? Am I on the right track? Am I totally off base? Give us your thoughts.
Make sure you subscribe, because we like to talk about just different conversations as it pertains to representation and things like that. So we like to have kind of deep conversations about that. And make sure you check out more of our podcast clips below.